All right, everybody, welcome to the first of our two-part post-fight coverage for UFC 270. The event is in the books, and the champions of the world are once again Deiveson Figueiredo and Francis Ngannou Madoff after an outstanding wrestling display over the final 3 rounds. He defeats Cyril Gane and cashes as a live underdog. Unbelievable. Hope you guys enjoyed the event. A lot to get to because we got the press conference about to kick off. So we'll hear from Deiveson Figueiredo, probably Brandon Moreno because he's Brandon Moreno. UFC President Dana White, which I can't wait to hear from since he decided, you know what, I'm not going to wrap the belt around Francis's waist. I'm going to send Mick Maynard in there to do it.
If anyone in the comments know, when was the last time a main eventer for a main event, Dana White did not wrap around the belt for the champion? That was wild.
Was that UFC 220? But that's because Stipe would not allow him to wrap.
Yeah, that was different. Stipe wanted his corner to wrap it, so that was a little different. But I didn't even
this
see.
Is like an Anderson Silva thing.
Yeah, this is. I didn't see Dana even cage side. I wasn't looking for him, but I didn't see him. But man, I don't know if in the comments if you, tell us what you thought, man. Stipe. Yeah. It was his corner. Dana was in the cage, but it was his corner. But
yeah, he took the belt from Dana. It was like, nope,
handed
it to his coach and made his coach do it, which was super interesting. So yes, we will. Who made money betting tonight? I'll tell you who. I mean, I would have, if I actually bet, I would have lost the Moreno bet. Although, like I said on the previous show, I probably would, if I were to bet on that fight, I probably would have bet on Figueiredo, just because you're getting him at plus 155, which is silly. And then Ngannou was an easy bet, just because him at dog money against anybody is insane.
What was the line for a decision victory for Ngannou? Do you know?
Plus, I asked, I thought it was plus 2,200 or something, but it actually was. One of
over 1,000.
One of our listeners plus 1,400.
1,400. Wow.
Yeah. One of our listeners after losing a Moreno bet was like, I was pissed, so I put money on an Ngannou decision, and he was right.
You know the fight I'm really pissed off. I rarely make bets. I don't talk about it publicly, but I'm really upset I didn't put money on Victor Henry because I was so confident in him, and I just didn't even think about because I knew the line was crazy. I was just happy that Victor Henry was going to fight tonight because I've thought very highly of him for years, but I just didn't even think about throwing money on him, even though he was minus a plus
Just the biggest underdog on the card.
Biggest underdog on the card, but we have enough about bets. Let's talk about fights though.
Yes, Victor Henry. Yeah, I picked Barcelos, but I just thought Barcelos was smidgedly ahead of Victor in a lot of ways. But I thought the chaos factor could kind of put Barcelos back down to life, and the chaos won. Victor Henry is super fun to watch, and a lot of people got to see him fight for the first time. So let's hear from the peeps. Francis, a bad matchup for John Jones right now. Francis, a good grappler and big. Let me ask you this, Casey. If there's one person it's very difficult to crawl inside the head of, it is John Jones. But if you're John Jones right now, are you concerned at this evolving Francis Ngannou? Or are you like, oh my God, I hope they book this fight for March. Let's get it on right now. I'm ready to go.
If I'm John Jones, you fight Francis as soon as possible. I think Francis clearly is a more of a fully developed mixed martial artist since going to Extreme Couture. Obviously the knock you out in 10 seconds, one shot wasn't going to be there tonight. You know what? He had it wasn't even a plan B. It was a plan A.2. You know what I mean? It wasn't it wasn't okay, I guess this is going to work. I mean, the wrestling, it was just, great job by the coaches, telling him the right stuff in the corner, keeping Francis, and I felt in a good headspace. And,
let us hear from the now former UFC flyweight champion, the assassin baby, Brandon Moreno.
And
you got a disappointment of not being able to
get the decision?
It's weird. It's a weird feeling because it's the first time in my life when I lost a decision, but I felt like I won. I mean, I remember my last two losses. Against Pantoja or against Betis. I mean, I knew in that moment I lost. I was like, okay, this feels like shit, but I understand I lost, right? But this time I felt like I won. But it is what it is because it wasn't a really hard fight. I mean, he had his own moments too, and I need to recognize that. I don't want to be that kind of guy who start to put excuses because I felt like Davison did an amazing job with a better game plan. So I just want to go to the gym. Just want to go to the gym, spend time with my family, and watch the fight again, and be back stronger.
Do you think it's fair to say you were more ready for the old Davison, the guy that maybe would fight out of control and load up on big shots and try to go after you, and maybe not so ready for the guy that was going to be, kind of making you attack him and not being aggressive?
Maybe I was putting pressure on definitely, and in some point he started to like go back and suddenly exploding against me. I felt like he was throwing like the power, but I was putting the volume there, and that's the thing. For example, in the first fight against him, it was the same. He was throwing like the power, and I was throwing the volume, and you never know what the judges put more attention in that point. So I don't know. Again, the fight was like 1 hour ago. So I need to go to my house, watch the fight, and be ready for the next one.
What was the reception like? Dana White had said before the fight, he says Brandon won't become a star; he is a star, right? And when you walked out, it was so loud in there, and it seemed like everything you did, the crowd went crazy. What did that feel like?
Oh man, the energy was amazing. Going to the octagon this night and watching all the Mexican flags, all the people around the arena, all the crowd and screaming my name. That feeling is incredible. And obviously, I feel a little bit disappointment to don't put more emotions in the crowd that night. But it is what it is. I lost, and that hurts. And at the same time, I love when it hurts because I can feel the pain, and that means to me like it's important to me to all be back, and you know it's crazy because the door is open for the fourth fight against this guy, and that's amazing, man. It's uh, you know I'm just trying to be very positive in my life, and I can see that possibility and start to make more history with these guys. It's crazy.
Yeah, you said the other day you were sick of him and you were ready to
It's
move
crazy,
on.
right?
So
My
like maybe you're not so sick of him right now, right?
No. I mean, I'm hungrier than ever, and I wanna see this guy again. And this is the game. So I lost, and I mean he lost last time, and was like, oh, I want to fight against Brandon Moreno, and me was like, oh, I don't want to see you again, but let's go. And now it's like, nope, I want to see you again, man. But I mean, I just want to go to the gym and work hard and put my manager to work.
Brandon, right here. Speaking of that fourth fight, what did you make of Davison saying he would be open to fighting you in Mexico for the
Man,
fourth?
that's excited. I mean, obviously, you can say whatever you want, but at the end, when the UFC put the offer to you, and sometimes the guys start to say no, and start to put a lot of different conditions. So we'll see. I mean, that sounds amazing. I mean, I was a rumor there in social media who say like UFC wanted to go to the UFC to Mexico City again, maybe June, maybe May. I mean, completely.
The broadcast was pointing out maybe later in the fight you weren't throwing as many combinations. Was that because Davison maybe was hurting you, or were you just slowing down, or was it something specific that maybe Davison did?
I feel like everything started to be like very strategic. He was like going back, putting a lot of these, just waiting for me. And at the same time, I was like, I can't be very very aggressive because he's just waiting for me. I just trying to do a little bit more feints, but he was like, I don't want to fight. I want to go back. So yes, man, it was a little bit complicated. At the same time, I need to recognize his new game plan was good too.
So at media day, you said you expected maybe a combination of the first two fights. Like the first fight, he was very aggressive. The second fight, maybe he was a little more calculated. Was that accurate in there?
Yes, maybe a little more, maybe not really really aggressive, but I mean just picking the exact moments to go forward. So that was nice for him.
Finally, did you speak to him or his team after the fight?
Man, I just try to be a gentleman with the team, and go and hey, man, congrats to the coaches, congrats. That guy, Eric, like, no, man, you don't have my respect. But with Henry, I don't have any problem. Like, say, hey, thank you, good fight for everybody, and that's it.
Hey, Brandon, right here. Can I ask why is there no respect with Coach Eric?
Good one, of course, drama. Man, you need to. I don't like drama in my life, so you can do your investigation. Just he did some things in my life where I don't respect. But again, with Henry, with all the team, the Brazilian coaches, I don't have any problem. So I went there and put my hand and shake hands. I like, hey, good job, guys.
At any point, there was so much attention. You've heard it all week. Did it ever start to mess with your focus? Or was it ever just hard to be like, no, I just can't stay as hungry right now. Everyone, there's just so much energy around.
No, I mean, I felt like my mind was in the good place. Just was him doing a really good job with his game plan. My mind was. I mean, the guys who are fighting against me, they need to understand. I don't care. I mean, if they try to do something against my mind, I don't care, man. That point is like I'm very strong in that part of my game. But I mean, again, I think the technical part was better.
Do you feel like this is a year where you can't take too much time off because there's so many guys at flyweight right now, and there's a lot of guys who are obviously doing really well. Do you feel like there's pressure that you need to come back sooner rather than later?
Maybe, yeah. The original plan. I was saying this in other interviews, but the original plan was like fight, January, then fight maybe May, maybe June, and then fight in December, for example. 3 fights in 1 year sounds good and and a good pace of fighting for me. So now I need to take to make a decision with my manager, with Jason, to see what happens in the future. But I'm open to fight, ready to fight soon.
My last question.
Sure.
Obviously you're doing well, but a lot of fans tonight very sad that you lost. Do you have a message for the fans who are like, oh, it's a tough night?
Yes, it's life. This is the life. And again, I mean, right now I'm just trying to be like very positive, and I'm trying to put my face with you guys. But definitely hurts, man. It hurts too much. I wanted to put the victory for my family, for my teammates, for Mexico, for my fans. But this is life, and it is what it is. I lost, and sometimes you lost, man. I lost before, and I'm alive, and I'm here, and I just try to feel the taste of the loss and go back to the gym. That's it.
Gracias, Brando.
Hermano.
Brandon, far right over here. This is an amazing fight, my friend. When you were out of the UFC, I was at your LFA fight in person.
Thank you.
And I said, I know this guy's coming back. You always seem to be able to recreate yourself and make yourself better. You're only 28 years old. You're a champion, and you just have the world, I think, is still yours to own, and the championship is still yours to get. You're welcome. Question, in this fight, did you feel anything different from Davidson? I know Henry Cejudo was helping him to make his grappling better. You dominated the grappling last time. I know it was a really close fight. I'm not trying to make you say he did this so good or not so good, but was there something a little different, and if so, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like he was like more calculated in his attack, better distance, definitely. He tried some maybe in the first and second round trying to take me down, but I felt like I did a really nice job. Sorry. Maybe four round. I don't exact right now. I don't remember well, but he take me down because I closed the distance too much. But I get back like very quickly. Mm, but nothing, man. I mean, right now it's hard to answer that because I need to fight again and see my mistakes because definitely I made mistakes in that fight. Um, but again, it's weird because I felt like I did the enough to win the battle. I know he connect me really hard, but I connect better with better, um, you know, precision with a lot of precision. But we judges. At the end of the day, I lost, and I need to go to the gym.
Right, absolutely. I know you're not the matchmaker. We have Mick and Sean, but if you were the matchmaker, would you say that Brandon Moreno gets this next fight, or that's only fair maybe one other person gets this next fight, and then you're after that?
Man, I need to push very hard, with the company and with my manager, with Jason, to go for the fourth one against Figueredo. We need to be very smart too, in the point, to go and hey, man. I mean, the last fight was amazing. The last three fights were amazing, right? So I feel like I have enough arguments to push the fight, and just keeping making history. The first time two guys fighting four times, it's crazy.
That'd be fantastic. It was an amazing fight. You're a superstar, and it's so awesome that you came out here to talk to us. Big respect to you, man.
Thank you so much.
Brandon, de este lado en español.
Ay, cabrón.
Decías que quieres la cuarta pelea. En 13 meses se han enfrentado ya en 3 ocasiones. ¿Qué hace tan especial esta rivalidad entre tú y Davison?
Híjole. No lo sé. Creo que algo tenemos. Creo que son ese tipo de rivalidades. Barrera Márquez, ese tipo de cosas, ¿no? Que eventualmente tuviste que pelear con él muchas veces para demostrar quién era el mejor. La primera fue empate, la segunda gané, la tercera él ganó. Vamos por la cuarta y vamos a ver qué pasa, ¿no? O sea, ¿qué lo hace especial? Supongo que es el hecho de que pues ya compartimos demasiado el octágono, ¿no? Ya más o menos nos conocemos, ya más o menos sabemos qué es lo que nos afecta un poquito. Y nada, o sea, esta pelea estuvo bien cerrada, se pudo ir para cualquiera, los jueces decidieron que era para Davison. Lo acepto como hombre completamente la decisión y nada, no quiero poner excusas, solo quiero regresar al gimnasio y ver qué pasó y ganar experiencia y ir para enfrente.
Parecía lógico que si ganabas defendieras en México, pero ¿te sorprendió que él diga que quiere pelear en México la cuarta?
Suena chido, supongo que pues, está buscando, imagínate, o sea, una revancha en México creo que vendería muchísimo y pues eso le generaría muchísimo dinero a Davison. Creo que es una oportunidad grande para él. Entonces, yo súper puesto, o esperemos que ese rumor de que UFC quiere volver a junio, o sea, crezca y ya deje de ser un rumor, que sea oficial, y yo estoy dentro de pelear ahí.
Gracias, Brandon.
Brandon, por acá. Brandon, ¿qué te parece que aún en la derrota todavía la afición mexicana te seguía apoyando? ¿En ningún momento dejaron de apoyar? ¿Cómo lo sentiste en eso?
No manches, o sea, lo aprecio muchísimo y es lo que a lo mejor a veces como que el inglés no me alcanza, pero pues me duele mucho, ¿no? Me duele, o sea, yo trato de venir aquí y ser un hombre y poner mi cara con todos ustedes, pero me duele. Me duele muchísimo el no haber podido regalarle la victoria a la afición mexicana. Lo quiero decir así porque yo creo que muchísima gente apoyándome, pues, mexicana, ¿no? Y eso me duele. Pues, es que lo único que puedo prometer ahorita es que voy a volver. Y lo he hecho, o sea, eso sí lo puede ver la gente. Eso sí creo que lo he demostrado, ¿no? Que me he caído y me he levantado fuerte y mejor que nunca. Entonces, pues nada, solamente el tiempo dirá, pero pues estoy listo para los retos que vengan enfrente.
Gracias.
Un abrazo.
Brandon, over here to your left, mate.
Left.
How you doing?
Left,
I think
more
we're
left.
gonna, yeah. I think we're going to be seeing that spinning leg kick across gyms all around the world next week. And I was just wondering, was there a technical reason for throwing that, or were you just being creative?
I'm a ninja. Man, sometimes I always say the same. So when you are close to the fight, it's like sparring, like nothing crazy, like go and do your job, right? But when I'm out of competition, I love to do something crazy just to try. So what happened? And I worked so hard in that kick in this last training camp, so I feel the confidence to throw it, and I couldn't. Man, I throw like 4 kicks and I connect 3. It's like that's perfect.
That's good. Well done, bro.
Thank you, man.
Brandon, the flyweight division was sort of, it was created for the most part by Demetrius Johnson. That's when you came into the UFC, and Henry Cejudo likes to say that he saved the flyweight division. But why is it that you have been able to connect with the fans and the audience more to elevate this division to the point where no one could ever consider that the UFC would ever get rid of flyweights again?
Because I understand I have this personality who you can connect with the people. I always say the same. So, for example, careers like Khabib is like, oh, this guy is incredible. He's undefeated. He's 29-0, and he retires. He's incredible. He's a god, right? But I feel like my histories, the people can connect more with my history. Like it's more human, right? Like the guy lost and the guy win, and the guy go back to the gym and go back to the octagon and win again. So that's I feel I can connect more with the people for that. And man, I'm just trying to be real. I mean, the people in the street can watch the same guy in the octagon than the street easily. So that's it, man. I think is that I'm just trying to be real every single day in my life, and the people can see that.
Brandon, de este lado, ¿cómo está, señor?
¿Qué tranza, señor?
Ya habías anticipado que esperabas un Davison totalmente distinto.
Claro.
¿Era justo lo que encontraste o era parecido a lo que esperabas y algo que no hayas alcanzado a descifrar?
Mira, me sorprendió el hecho de que esperó demasiado, y a lo mejor eso yo no lo puedo descifrar. O sea, yo sentí que en cierto punto él nada más me estaba esperando, que yo entrara para o patear o buscar el contragolpe, y eso creo que eso no lo pude resolver. Eso creo que fue mi error, porque también estaba afuera y yo estaba bien consciente, ¿no? De que me está esperando. O sea, se siente raro. Lo vuelvo a repetir, lo dije en inglés, pero o sea, quiero decirlo en español porque pues, obviamente me fluye más. Con petis, con Pantoya. O sea, yo cuando llegué a que el referee me agarrara la mano para que diera la decisión, yo sabía que había perdido. O sea, yo dije, no, pues nada, cállate la boca y regresa al gimnasio y puedo entrenar. En esta, pues fue muy cerrada y yo siento que tengo los argumentos para decir que yo gané. Pero, de nuevo, no quiero ser ese tipo de las excusas, no quiero ser el tipo de que esto y el otro y fue la culpa de los jueces. No, jamás. Quiero volver al gimnasio, quiero regresar fuerte, quiero enfocarme y seguir adelante en mi carrera.
2 preguntas en uno. Al finalizar el tercer asalto hay un knockdown y te intentó someter a unos cuantos segundos. ¿Qué tan herido estabas que te hubiera podido someter si hubiera habido 20, 30 segundos más?
No, para nada, porque ya tenía las manos estiradas. Creo que eso sí estoy muy consciente de eso. Creo que caí, el tipo se me lanzó al cuello y yo estiré las manos controlando las caderas. Iba a ser muy difícil que él pudiera brincar a la guardia por eso. Entonces, pues, no había peligro. Me considero una persona muy buena defendiendo la guillotina, entonces no sentí realmente el peligro en ese momento.
Gracias.
Por acá, Brandon. Acá atrás. ¿Qué tal? Buenas noches. Ya lo explicaste en inglés, ¿no? Lo de los argumentos por los cuales tú te mereces esa cuarta pelea. Si nos puedes decir en español, primero, ¿por qué Brandon Moreno se merece esa cuarta pelea ante Deiveson Figueiredo?
Mira, es que creo que empezando por la historia, ¿no? De los intensos que han estado los combates, desde el primero hasta este último. Pues el segundo fue muy dominante de mi parte, el tercero fue una guerra completamente, donde por ahí de repente sí como que estábamos muy calculadores y no nos animábamos a soltar las manos, pero de repente empezábamos a soltar las bombas. Creo que eso estuvo muy bueno. Creo que por eso, y porque hasta cierto punto pues queda inconcluso, ¿no? Queda inconcluso. La primera se queda como descartada porque fue empate, entonces yo gané una, él ganó otra. La cuarta suena muy, muy lógica y suena chido para la historia de la división, para la historia de la compañía inclusive, porque será la primera vez que 2 atletas se enfrentan por cuarta vez.
Y por último, de mi parte, habías comentado en una de las entrevistas que te hizo falta poder. ¿A qué crees que se debió eso? ¿Algo en la preparación? ¿Por qué crees que sucedió?
Mira, yo voy a ser muy honesto contigo. Sé que no soy ese peleador de poder. Yo no pego fuerte. Quisiera, me encantaría, y trabajo todos los días en el gimnasio para pues, tener una pegada sólida. Y quiero que quiero decirte que mi cara se ve muy bien a comparación, pero sí comprendo que pues él tiene pegada dura y yo conecté muchísimo más, pero él cada vez que a lo mejor conectaba fuerte me movía y eso es impresionante para los jueces. De ahí parte mi argumento que a lo mejor, que no sé, o sea, quisiera saber qué es lo que un juez aprecia muchísimo más, o sea, el conectar fuerte o el conectar más, es el rollo, pero pues nada, creo que al final del día estoy divagando y pues quiero ver la pelea, ¿no? Para ver exactamente qué pasó.
Muchas gracias.
Vale. That's it? I'm hungry. Oh, one more.
Brennan, did you have a chance to talk to him after the fight in the back?
No. I mean, I was trying to be very professional inside the octagon. Like, hey, man, congrats, all the team, and that's it. I don't see him in in the backstage or something like that.
If you do have a fourth fight, it's history. It's never happened in the UFC. What can we expect different in the fourth fight than the first three?
The only you can expect, I'll go to the gym, I'll pull my computer, watch the fight, and see what happened in this one. Us. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm really hungry. I can eat pizza right now. So see you.
I love that guy.
All right, there he is. I mean,
love that guy.
If you didn't watch the card, you would think he won the fight. The way he reacted. Between him and Cyril Gane, talk about, I mean, those two guys, classy as it gets. Took the loss in stride. Well done. This could be the longest press conference ever. Like, we're just one person in, and it's almost 2 a.m. Eastern, so we're going to be here for a bit. So if you got to get some coffee, go get some coffee in you. Because we're getting after this thing for the next 3 hours, probably. Not the whole press conference, but between that and the post-fight show. So get ready.
I think the big question, are we getting a Dana White tonight?
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's going to be an hour-long scrum, but I'm looking forward to it. And whoever asked him the first, like, that has to be, like, in the first 3 questions. Why didn't you wrap the belt around Francis's waist? If it's not, then that's just terrible.
I can't believe, I know that so many things
Where's
happen
Dana?
tonight.
I don't know. Hopefully he's here. Yeah. I mean, my guess will probably hear from Figueiredo next, then Dana. Boogie Thug Rose. Yes, yeah. You're probably right about that. I'm trying to see if there's bonuses. I know what the fight of the night is. It is.
Oh yeah,
that fight, Brandon Moreno versus Davis Figueiredo.
Oh, for the other ones though, let me see. Let me look at.
I don't think we have performance. Demopoulos has to get one. Like I mean, that's just insanity if she doesn't.
Oh no, Syed definitely gets one.
Syed gets Syed gets one.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, that was like as soon as I saw that, I about called my jiu-jitsu coach. I was like, oh, we gotta do a video on that amazing guillotine. That was just amazing. I think Syed and Michael Morales. Sorry. Sorry, Vanessa.
I mean, Vanessa, after getting absolutely drilled with that right hand from Juarez, which not a lot of 15ers are taking that shot and surviving. She not only survived it, she landed a gnarly submission after.
I don't want to be that person, man, but like I can't believe Juarez just was so like just made bad mistakes. Jumping on her guard, keeping her hand on the mat. It was just like, ugh. Like she thought she had how do you say her name? I gotta learn to say her name. Demopoulos. That was just didn't know who she was fighting or something. That was just she got a little too excited. But great comeback, great victory. Frivola,
4 knockdowns in a round. In 3 minutes and 15 seconds, he had 4. I think he actually probably had more knockdowns, but he got credit for 4 knockdowns, which is tied for the most knockdowns in a round in UFC history. And he did that in 3 minutes and 15 seconds before Mike Beltran was like, you know what? He's had enough. He's had enough.
I know there's a lot of controversy on that, but I was actually, I get the visuals. I was okay with it, but I understand why people thought it was a late stoppage. I'm not going to That's not my bat. That's not my. I'm not going to die on that hill.
Yeah, I mean, he was defending himself.
It looked bad,
Like,
but he fell down, yeah. And when
he was defending himself.
Favola finally got, I think, back mount, I was like, "You're just yeah." When you get back mount, you're done. So that was my 2 cents. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna throw some comments up here.
Okay, so we got fight of the night was correct. Saeed Nurmagomedov, Vanessa Demopoulos, performance of the night, according to our own Steven Morocco.
All right. Well,
Demopoulos had like the viral moment of the night with the submission, the comeback, jumping in Rogan's arms.
Yeah. And she had a great
splits, everything.
I love her story too. I didn't know anything about her. I saw she talked about like she had basically a stripper job and she quit, and there's videos on her talking. I think Access TV did a video on her talking about her using her skill set in pole dancing and using it in MMA, and respect. Good for her.
Yes. Okay, we're back.
We're back. Oh, we're back. Sorry.
We're back. Apologies. Technical difficulties. I agree with Mr. Murville that yes, fight could have went either way. I scored it for Moreno. I gotta go back and watch it. First round, all three judges gave the first round to Figgy.
I mean, actually, I gotta look at my scorecard again.
Yeah, I gave Moreno 1, 2, and 4. That's how I scored. And it would have been 3 as well if Figgy didn't. If the last 15 seconds didn't go the way they did, because Figgy landed the most impactful shot of the round, dropped him, hurt him, got him. In my opinion, Figgy won the third round.
Was that the one he got dropped? Moreno got dropped in the last like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. Was that
like in the last 10 seconds?
You know what? Normally, it was such a significant drop. I had to give the round to Figgy.
100%.
Yeah. I did score the right for Figgy, but I had, to me, rounds 1 and 5 were complete toss-ups where, depending on the angle of the judges, you could easily, to me, score it for either fighter. And I think it's one of those fights where I hate pulling this card, but it wasn't a robbery. It was just a close fight. One of those.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah. And
it wasn't a robbery.
And I was surprised Figgy won, because I thought with the hometown advantage, for Moreno, I thought, with every block shot, the crowd is cheering, even though it might not have landed. A lot of times the judges go, I guess that shot landed. And, in close rounds tend to go to the hometown guy. Didn't happen, though. Oh, who didn't win a performance bonus because he made it look too easy was Jack Taylor. Yeah. That fight looked, it was too much of a mismatch where I felt like they didn't even give him the award for it. That's why I feel weird giving when they get performance bonuses for Vanessa, even though I'm glad she won the money, because poor Michael Morales had a great victory, but he didn't get dropped. So I mean, like, he doesn't get rewarded for having a.
But he did. He did get dropped.
Did he get dropped?
He did get dropped. Yeah, he got dropped early by Trevin Giles. I don't know if it was like a straight. Definitely wasn't a drop like.
No, I mean, it was a competitive fight till it wasn't. But I'm just talking. What I'm trying to say is, people who have more of a perfect fight sometimes don't get rewarded. People who get beat up and come back get rewarded with $50,000. But it's UFC's money to give out. That's on them. Salman Oliveira is still going for a guillotine. he's right now he's in the lobby right now and still attempting to guillotine Tony Gravely. So
which is I mean, I'll say I picked Mr. Oliveira to win that fight, but I mean, get your fight IQ up. That is not the guy that's not the guy I picked. Yeah. The guy who we saw in the Contender Series and all his previous fights. He gets a lot of submissions, but his striking is so good. And we got to see some flying knees, but that's literally all we saw. And then we just saw 14 guillotine attempts, which I didn't expect.
So,
oh, I saw the mic moving a little bit, so.
All right, let me see what we got here.
Oop. I see shadows. What about Victor Henry versus Jaime Barcelos? Easy fight of the night. Then
you know what? If the co-main event didn't happen, that fight was clearly the fight of the night. But I'm a big Victor Henry guy, and I was very excited about his performance tonight. But it was Vicky Moreno's night.
This looks like Cyril Gane. That looks like a giant man.
Hey, Cyril. Did you ever in your wildest dreams see Francis Ngannou grappling you and going for so many takedowns?
It was not a surprise. We knew already it was one of his biggest chances to win some round, and he did it, and he did it very well. So, good job.
When you game planned, did you and Fernand talk about that he may try to do that a little bit?
Yes, of course. That's why I told you. We knew already it was the biggest chance he had.
Can you talk about your decision to go for the leg lock in the 5th round and sort of, what the thought process was?
Est-ce que tu peux expliquer comment est-ce que tu es arrivé à placer dans quel processus tu es allé pour la clé de talon au 5e?
This is because we improve a lot. We are like I said before the fight. We are really easy. We are well-rounded, so it's possible to go on the ground. It's possible to wrestling. It's possible to striking too. And we was confident on every department. But his power was it was not a surprise, but he used it really good.
Cyril. And then final question for me. Did you feel like after 2 rounds that the fight was going exactly the way you wanted? I mean, did you feel like you had everything in your favor at that point?
Est-ce que après le second round, tu as eu l'impression que tu contrôlais le combat et que tout allait dans ton sens?
Not exactly, but I know I'm a little bit disappointed that I must do more. So I didn't did so. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Cyril, d'abord, je voulais te féliciter pour ce combat parce que vous étiez
Merci,
tous
mon
les
gars.
deux impressionnants.
C'était un très
vraiment.
beau combat.
Et je pense que je parle au nom de beaucoup de Français en disant que tu nous as pas du tout déçus. 2 petites questions. Qu'est-ce que tu penses qui a manqué pour la clé de bras, la kimura et la clé de talon pour qu'elle passe? Et est-ce que tu as été surpris par la lutte de Francis, le niveau de lutte?
J'ai pas été surpris par sa lutte parce que au final, c'était pas des amenés au sol très techniques, très. Par contre, son power, sa force, quoi. Sa force a fait que, malheureusement, ça a été, on le savait, c'est quelque chose qui est très dur chez lui et il a su l'utiliser. Et je me suis fait surprendre à quelques reprises. Et c'est ça qui a fait qu'il a gagné ce soir.
Ok. Et sur la kimura et la clé de talon, tu penses qu'il a manqué quoi pour
il n'a pas manqué grand-chose. Je ne sais pas exactement. Il faudrait que je regarde. Tu sais, avec l'adrénaline, quand il y a autant d'enjeux, tu ne tapes pas aussi facilement que ça. Et encore une fois, je pense qu'il a bien lutté sur ça. Il a bien défendu. Donc, on n'était pas loin. Donc, un peu déçu. Ouais.
Ok. Merci beaucoup.
Merci,
encore bravo.
Gars.
Cyril, right here. Cyril, just can you talk a little bit about, as the course of the fight went on, just how tired did you feel like Francis was getting with his punches? Because I think a lot of people felt like, just how tired is he, or was he conserving energy?
Can you repeat? Sorry. Can you repeat the question?
No problem. Did you feel, just how tired did you feel like Francis was getting with his punches as the fight went on?
Est-ce que tu as l'impression que les points qu'il a envoyés te mettaient en difficulté son anglaise?
No. But you see, his prediction was, he gonna knock me down at the first or second round. He didn't, because and we knew that because we are confident on my striking skills. But he's a warrior also, and he keep the way until the end, and he did very well.
When Francis came out, he noticeably had the knees wrapped up. At any point, did the coach or you just decide, like, this might be a target he may be hurting?
quand il est entré dans l'octogone et que tu as vu qu'il avait des genoux, est-ce que je t'ai donné un conseil, je t'ai dit que ça pourrait être une cible?
Non, non, non. Non, 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 non,
Tout
non,
au
non.
contraire.
No. But tout au contraire. No, 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 no. It was not very important for us. No, 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 no.
My final question, obviously, this is a big one for your country back home. Do you have a message to your fans, or some of them might be hurting tonight?
I feel the people behind me, so that's why I'm a little bit sad for the people, for the fan. So I just want to say thank you for all the fan everywhere in the world. Thank you to all behind me and to support me. Thank you very much, seriously.
Cyril, there is some talks that maybe Francis could leave the UFC now. Would it matter to you more to fight him and prove that you can beat him, or just to fight for the world title against anybody?
If you live like that, I don't want that. I want my rematch. I want to do this fight in second time. I want this fight. I want this rematch.
Do you believe that if you do get that rematch, it'll be easier because there won't be this talk of sparring, there won't be this talk of the coaches, it'll just be about the competition?
Est-ce que tu penses que lors du rematch, du combat qui retourne, est-ce que le fait qu'il n'y ait pas toutes les histoires de sparring et toutes les guerres qu'il y a eu avant, est-ce que tu penses que ça pourrait rendre le combat meilleur?
No, 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 no. I was really focused on my mission, and all the story around this fight was just the stories, and it was not important for me. I was just focused on my target. And no. If we have a rematch, I'm gonna be focused, but I'm gonna improve on my weakness.
They say that sometimes a fighter needs to lose to learn lessons and improve. Do you think that while this hurts, that's what happened tonight for you?
This is the reality. This is hurting me a lot, but this is the truth, and I hope tomorrow I'm gonna improve. I'm gonna do more to be a better version of myself. Yeah. Thank you.
Cyril, over here to your right.
Yeah.
The Francis that you fought against tonight, how was he similar and how was he different from the Francis that you trained with?
He was really prepared for this fight. I think it took me in serious. It took me in serious, and I think he did a really great camp with all of his team. He did a really great game plan. I think he did exactly what he must to do for won this game, and that's why I want to say to all of this team, congratulations, seriously.
You both did very good, but what was the most surprising that he did? Were you surprised by the wrestling, or that he was wanting to be on the ground, or how he felt on the ground, or what was the most unique thing that you think?
I think today I can just talk about his power. He really not surprised me on the striking. In the Muay Thai, in the wrestling. The wrestling was not really great wrestling. It was more about the power. So I was not really surprised about all of that, but he did well. He did well.
Did you feel that you would have been surprised if that they announced you as the winner? Did you think maybe possibly, or it was a draw, or what was your feeling inside your heart?
No, at the end of the fight, I knew already. I'm really intelligent. I'm really aware, and I knew you won this fight. You win this fight.
How soon do you think you'll be physically ready to be fighting again? You're 31. You're very young. I think probably you're feeling good now.
Tomorrow.
Maybe not that soon, but hopefully very soon.
Thank you.
Good fight, my friend.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, everybody.
Look, all in all, I think we've learned some valuable life lessons today by watching Brandon Moreno and Cyril Gane react to their losses. Because, I mean, just a professional job right there. If you're going to lose, that's how you do it. No one did it better than Dominic Cruz after he lost Cody Garbrandt, but that's pretty damn good consolation right there, watching those two guys do it. So, well done. They'll both be back. I feel like I'm ready for the quadrilogy. Just give it to me.
Yeah, let's talk about
Moreno
that.
4. Let's do it.
I remember going into this, we're like, are they really going to do it 4 times? I was like, If it's an awesome fight, hell yeah. And if the fourth fight's freaking awesome and there's not like a really true number one contender where we're excited about, F it. We might do 5. I don't care. Those are amazing fights, and yeah.
Nah, I think you got to cap it. You got to cap it here, I think.
Well, but I'm just saying, who's like the true? I mean, I know they're holding the belt for Benel Cape. You know, that's a you know.
Look at this. We could have a world. Listen, we could have a world that in the next 14 months, Yuri Prochazka, Victor Henry, and Manel Cap could be UFC champions. Casey, you might just retire from the media space right there if that happens.
Yeah. Just throw away.
That'd be unbelievable.
That'd be incredible.
But the UFC could promote that fight so well. Like the fourth fight, this is it. The final time. Win, lose, or draw. This is it. Get him in there. One fight for all the marbles. That would be amazing. Has there ever been a 4-fight series in the UFC?
Not that. I think it's a big
in
no.
the UFC.
No, maybe.
Yeah,
people have fought 4 times. It maybe one time outside or something, or maybe the 4th time was outside. But for all 4 fights happening in the UFC, and these are gonna be 4 fights back to back to back to back. I assume, and I assume if Dana White was here to ask about it, but okay. So you want to break the news to everyone?
Well, I mean, everyone probably already freaking saw it, but listen, Dana doesn't appear to be here, and
I think that's Mr.
It's okay. We're not going to
Piggy's
get. Hey, listen, you're not going to get Dana, but you're going to get Day Figueiredo, the new flyweight champion, and hopefully his team can stay quiet. Here he is, the new champion.
Muito bom, cara. Você é foda, mano. Você pica.
Okay, they're saying he's the shit. He's the bomb.
Henry.
Just try to give you context.
Davidson right here. First of all, congratulations on the victory. What are your initial thoughts after reclaiming your UFC Flyweight Championship?
Primeiro de tudo, parabéns pela vitória. Quais são os teus pensamentos iniciais depois de se recuperar esse cinturão?
Bom, agora é voltar para Scottsdale, né? Para Fireware, comemorar com a minha equipe, meus coaches. E eu só tenho a agradecer a esses caras que tanto me ajudaram, que tanto nos doaram desses 4 meses aí para transformar o meu jogo e hoje ter essa recompensa aqui, que é esse cinturão. Ele é nosso, viu, galera?
The first thing, going back to Scottsdale, to this team, has helped me so much. These guys, they gave so much of them to me to transform my game. And this is not just my belt, it's their belt. So just going back to...
Speaking of your game plan, was that how you envisioned the fight going? We spoke with Brandon a little earlier today, and he said that he was basically, when he would come forward, you would attack. You were waiting for him to come. You were drawing him in. Is that what the game plan was?
Sobre a estratégia que você havia mencionado de transformar o jogo, eles falaram com o Brandon um pouquinho antes, ele falou que você, quando ele ia para cima de você, você conseguia ter uma distância e manter essa distância para cima. É isso mesmo? Esse era o plano?
Exatamente, foi um plano bem traçado. Sabíamos que ele tem um jab eficiente, então as 2 primeiras lutas ele conseguiu tocar em mim com esse jab. E criamos um bloqueio para isso, e com muitos kicks na panturrilha dele. A panturrilha dele hoje bateu muito na minha canela e estou um pouquinho dolorido.
Exactly. That was the game plan all along. We know he has a very strong jab, and we wanted to counter that with distance and with those calf kicks. I mean, his shin really hit my foot today a lot. really hurt. But we had a very well mapped plan for that to happen.
Right after the fight, he said he thought he had done enough to win. It was a very close fight. Were you? I can hear it. So you were confident you had done enough.
Depois da luta, aí quando ele veio para cá, ele falou que ele depois da luta ele sentiu que ele fez o suficiente para ganhar a luta. Foi uma luta muito pegada e muito próxima, foi muito acirrada. E como é que você vê isso? O que você achou da decisão em si?
Bom, foi 4-1, né? E o engraçado é que foram 5 knockdowns, né? Mas aí me deram 4-1. Poderia ser todos os rounds, né? Foram 5 knockdowns eu dei nele, né? No decorrer do tempo ali. Ok, cry baby. Vamos para a próxima.
It was 4-1. I mean, there were 5 knockdowns, so it's funny that it was 4-1. It could have just gotten me every round. I mean, when you said crybaby, and then it goes, let's go up to the next one, man. Let's take it up to the next one.
He also said he respected you and respected all of your coaches, except maybe not Captain Eric. So, what do you have to say to that?
Ele falou também que ele respeita você e respeita toda a tua equipe, talvez com exceção do Captain Eric. O que você tem para dizer sobre isso?
The power of Captain Eric Albarracin.
Yeah.
You ask a question about him, he just thinks. He closes his eyes and does Jedi mind tricks.
Do jogo do plano da minha equipe. Esse cara incansavelmente todos os dias me cobrava. Algumas vezes até falei pro Henry, o Captain tá me estressando, não aguento mais, mas meus parabéns, Captain, você é foda demais.
Actually, Captain Eric is the guy he respect the most. Because this is a guy who is a relentless worker that I've learned to like so much. He is the one that got on my case more than anyone. He's the mastermind behind this game plan that we had. And I said at one point, he was stressing me out. I was like, Eric is stressing me out, but congrats to him. You're the bomb, man.
And finally, it seems like you said you would be open to fighting him for the 4th time in Mexico, but there's a rumored card in Brazil maybe in May or later this year. So why wouldn't you want that fight back home in Brazil? Why would you be open to fight in Mexico?
Obviamente você falou de lutar com ele pela 4ª vez no México. Tem um card pré-planejado para o Brasil em maio e talvez até depois. Por que essa vontade de lutar contra ele no México? Qual é a tua opinião sobre isso?
Eu queria lutar com ele no México, né? Mas se entrarmos lá no México com o Cerrudo do nosso lado, a gente não sai tão cedo de lá. Então, eu tô pensando em mudar essa luta pro Brasil, que fica melhor.
Yeah, I initially said Mexico, but I think that if you go into Mexico with Cerrudo next to us, we might not leave. So we're changing. That's what they're saying in the back here. He changed his mind. So I think we're considering that maybe Brazil would be a better option.
Davidson, over here to your right. Colin Crandall, MMA Power Hour. Congratulations. Amazing performance. A lot of the improvement, I think, was strategy, and a lot of the improvement was your skills that were improved. How much was it of each of those, in your opinion?
Muito da tua melhora foi não só a estratégia, mas também a tua habilidade. As duas melhoraram muito. Qual das duas você acha que foi o que melhorou mais? Qual que é a tua visão sobre essas duas coisas?
Com certeza a estratégia, né? A estratégia foi criada em equipe, foi montada em equipe. Então, ela mostra o quão importante é você trabalhar em equipe. E eu confio na minha equipe. A estratégia foi montada e foi fixada em minha memória todos os dias no decorrer da semana. A minha equipe falando, repetindo. E eu já sabia de qual que fazia ali. Eu tinha que manter a calma e os 2 minutos finais ser quem eu sempre sou, agressivo e violento.
It was the strategy, no doubt, and it shows because it was a team effort. It shows the power of teamwork and actually having a team because I trust them a lot. And they said this all along, just to keep the patient and stay put until 2 minutes remaining in the fight. We said, then I can be myself aggressive and violent.
Absolutely. One thing that surprised me was how calm Davidson was in the cage before the fight. Normally, Davidson is super intense, and this time it looked almost like Moreno was working on being fired up, and Davidson looked relaxed. Was this part of a strategy, or is this something that's an improvement that Davidson's made?
Uma coisa que surpreendeu ele foi que você estava muito calmo. Você é um cara geralmente cheio de energia, você é um cara que está bem empolgado e, na verdade, quem estava tentando se erguer mais e estava tentando se empolgar, estava falando uma coisa para ele mesmo, foi o Brandon. Então você viu uma pessoa, ele falou muito da tua calma, que isso impressionou muito. Essa tua calma, era parte da estratégia também?
Sim, de fato. Foi o que mais treinamos para mudar isso. Eu sempre era um cara que entrava cheio de energia para acabar a luta em segundos, nocauteado, primeiro e segundo round. E criamos um bloqueio nisso, me deixando mais calmo, mais perigoso. Quando ele menos esperar que eu não ia atacar, eu tinha que atacar com violência. E nesses 4 meses eu vim conseguir lapidar essa agressividade minha, deixando mais calmo e atacar com mais violência, sem ele esperar, já na reta final. E hoje eu pude colocar em prática.
In fact, it was a lot of strategy. We focused a lot on being calm because I used to come into the octagon so full of energy, just trying to finish people off and right in the first minutes. And it was very important to us to keep calm and to become even more dangerous, because then my strikes would be come as a surprise to him. He would not know, because I had that power kind of bottling up, and I became more dangerous because my strikes surprised him. And this was something we focused on a lot, to actually keep things calm, to be more dangerous and better.
Like Bruce Lee always said, I seem to remember. Last question for me. When they were in the heat of battle, Davidson was smiling a lot. Is it that you can be happy when you're in a war and you're getting your head smashed in with punches and kicks? Or was it just that Davidson could feel he was winning, that his strategy was paying off, and that he was doing what he wanted to do?
Complementando aquilo que você falou, uma coisa do Bruce Lee, né, de ser perigoso. Ele falou uma coisa sobre você estar sorrindo. Você sorriu muito durante a luta, especialmente nos momentos mais quentes da luta, no momento que a coisa estava pegando, que o pau estava comendo. E foi por conta de que você estava calmo, estava tranquilo, faz parte da estratégia, você simplesmente estava bem e você gosta do combate, isso te dá uma alegria. Ou foi porque você estava sentindo que o que estava acontecendo ali estava caminhando para uma vitória tua, estava tomando forma uma vitória tua? Ou era você gostando do pau comer, ou você estava sentindo que a vitória estava vindo?
Certamente eu fico feliz quando eu encontro um adversário que me proporciona uma luta incrível como hoje aconteceu. A luta foi insana, sangrenta, do jeitinho que o público gosta. E eu me divirto, eu fico feliz quando isso acontece.
Certainly, I love being part of a fight like that, the fight that Brandon has allowed us both to have. It was insane. It was bloody. It was exactly the way that people wanted to see a fight. And I have a lot of fun in those kinds of fights.
Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Davidson right here. After the knockdown at the end of the 3rd round, how do you feel that moment when you were close to make that submission? Because he said he feels safe. He didn't feel the danger at that moment.
No 3º round, você se lembra bem, você pegou ele e foi um knockdown, quase levou uma finalização. Como é que você sentiu naquele momento? Você acha que virou o jogo, alguma coisa assim? Did you say that Brandon said that he felt safe? He feels safe. O Brandon falou que ele sentiu seguro naquele momento, que ele não sentiu que realmente ia se transformar numa finalização. O que você sentiu naquela hora?
Bom, se tivesse ali 30 segundos mais, eu finalizaria ele, né? Ele foi salvo pelo gongo, né? E e ele estava quase que apagado. Eu vi que ele estava ali, ele tomou o golpe e ficou fora de si. A alma dele saiu do corpo dele. E 30 segundinhos mais eu finalizaria.
You know, if it was 30 seconds more, I feel that I would have gotten him. I think that he lost his senses a little bit. He looked like he was not feeling too well there, and he was kind of saved by the buzzer. And I do feel that his soul left his body. And I do feel that with 30 seconds, I would have just killed that thing.
Last one, Davidson. If this fourth fight don't happen, which name are you thinking you can face next?
Se essa quarta luta não acontecer, ou mais lá para frente, qual seria o outro nome com quem você pensaria em lutar?
Certamente, se colocasse um Kai Kara France para mim, é um cara que eu nocautearia ele, pelo simples fato dele ter nocauteado o Corey Garland, que era o outro cara que eu queria nocautear. Agora não me interessa mais Corey Garland. É a cabeça do Kai Kara France que está em jogo agora.
Kai Kara France, obviously, I feel that it's a guy that I want to knock him down. I want to knock him out, and he knocked Cody Garbrandt, so that's the guy that I wanted to knock down. So basically, it's not in my interest anymore to fight Cody. So it's Kai Kara France.
Thank you.
Davison right here. Davison right here. Obviously, the crowd was very in favor all week for Brandon. Out there in the cage and during the fight, did you feel that energy, and did you feel like it went down the better you did during the fight?
Obviamente, durante a semana, a torcida era toda do Brandon jogando em casa. O que você sentiu, por exemplo, durante a luta? Você acha que essa energia continuou? De repente, durante a luta, as coisas começaram, a maré começou a virar um pouco, e você sentiu que isso morreu um pouquinho?
Pelo fato da torcida ser toda dele, eu vou fazer um vídeo comendo burrito e falar o quanto que eu amo os mexicanos. Mas eu gosto disso, eu gosto desse calor. Eu gosto do público me xingando, sim. Ok. O que interessa para mim é entrar dentro do octagon ali e dar o meu melhor, como fiz hoje. A minha intenção era nocautear ele. A sorte dele foi os 30 segundos que terminou o round, na hora que eu ia finalizar ele.
I can definitely feel that warmth. I love when people yell at me and just, swear at me. And I love Mexico so much. I cherish it so much that I'm gonna make a video for him eating burritos and saying how much I love Mexico. All right. I wanted to knock him out, and I felt that the crowd, was feeling it. And if it wasn't for those 30 seconds, I think I would have done it.
Is it safe to say that your trips to Arizona to work with the team at Fight Ready is going to be a permanent part of your training going forward?
Seguro dizer que essas viagens, esses tempos, esses camps em Arizona vão ser nova parte da tua rotina agora?
Sim, de fato. É uma equipe que eu cheguei, fui abraçado, me deram atenção, cuidaram de mim lá. E eu me sinto em casa, é uma família para mim. Tudo que eu quero agora é ir ao Brasil, buscar minha mulher, meus filhos e poder viver de luta aqui, focado, como sempre, e manter esse cinturão na Fight Ready.
Yes, most definitely. This is a team that embraced me, that welcomed me, that took care of me, and definitely the only thing I want to do is actually go back home to grab my family and to bring them to America and keep, not only to be focused on the sport and to keep this belt, but also keep it there with these guys.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Davison, to your left over here. Congratulations on winning the belt again. I think you're constantly surprising us with the levels in your game, but I'm curious, do you ever surprise yourself in there?
Parabéns, antes de mais nada. Você surpreendeu muita gente pelos níveis de jogo que você tem, as coisas que oferece, a variação de jogo. Você se surpreende, você se surpreendeu com o que você foi capaz de fazer?
Eu sou um cara bem perigoso no que faço. Eu me senti muito à vontade hoje. Eu vi quando eu pisei no octágono e vi que ele estava um pouco úmido. Geralmente o que me incomoda muito é quando o octágono tá seco demais e escorregadio. E hoje eu vi que ele estava a meu favor. Eu disse, bom, eu tô em casa. Eu me senti tranquilo, suave e me concentrei no jogo do plano, que era a tática de manter a distância, parar o jab dele e chutar muito ele hoje.
I'm a very dangerous guy. I felt really good today. When I stepped into the octagon, and I felt it was like wet, it's humid. I felt good. Sometimes I go in and it's dry and I don't feel like it's like slippery. And I just got in and I was like, man, this is my night. I'm feeling great. And the one thing that I wanted to do is to make sure that I feel very good about the fact that we were able to keep it to the game plan, into what we were set out to do.
One more. Sitting right here in front of you. You're the first flyweight champion to be a two-time champion, to win the belt and then win it again. Which title win meant more to you, getting it the first time or this time because you came back, avenged the loss, and were able to reclaim that title?
Você é o primeiro peso mosca a ganhar o título e reganhar o título. Qual dos dois significou mais? Ganhar o cinturão ou recapturar ele e recuperar o cinturão?
Recapturar, com certeza. Com certeza. Eu já tinha esse sabor de conquistar o cinturão. Agora, você perder algo que era seu e reconquistar, sem sombra de dúvidas, algo maravilhoso a sentir, um sentimento novo, ainda mais quando você tem uma nova família. Eu fico mais feliz porque o primeiro cinturão eu conquistei na minha equipe no Brasil. E agora eu vim para uma nova família e conquistar um cinturão de novo, sem sombra de dúvida, é muita felicidade.
I had definitely tasted the flavor of being champion once, but this one, it has a special flavor to it because this was a new family. I got the title with my old team, but to actually be a part of this new family, be able to bring this to them is really important. So today had a special flavor, definitely, to regain the title.
And because Brandon did give you that opportunity to be back on top, do you think it's only fair that you give him that? We don't know the UFC's plans, but do you think that's only right?
E porque o Brandon te deu essa oportunidade de você lutar novamente, vocês lutaram novamente, você reconquistar esse cinturão, você acha que não seria nada mais justo do que dar para ele a oportunidade de ter uma quarta luta, independente de se o UFC vai querer isso ou não? Você acha que seria justo ter uma quarta luta, então, já que foi dada a oportunidade para vocês?
Não sei. O Breno Moreno não quis me dar a terceira luta, né? E mesmo assim o UFC ofereceu. O Pantoja já estava machucado e me ofereceram para lutar com ele. E ele teve que aceitar, mesmo correndo. E agora cabe a mim dar essa luta a ele. Se ele se comportar bem e for um pay-per-view bom, né? Aqui dentro dos Estados Unidos, ou para mim interessa aqui nos Estados Unidos, é onde eu vou ganhar um dinheiro bom em cima dele. Eu falei que hoje eu ia tomar o meu patrocínio dele. Ele disse que eu era o melhor patrocinador dele. Eu falei que eu ia voltar e ia tomar esse patrocínio. Agora ele vai ser o meu melhor patrocinador.
Brandon didn't give me the chance to fight him again. Well, he didn't want to. He's up until he got hurt. That's why the UFC gave us the fight. So if he behaves well for the course of the next couple of months, we'll figure this out. And I think, you know what? I want to find the United States. This is where if it's a good fight, if he behaves well, and then if we can do it, as a kick-ass pay-per-view in the United States, I think this is where I want to fight. This is where I make my money. And actually, he was talking about the fact that I was his biggest sponsorship because of the fights. And it's like, well, I told him I was going to take that away from him. So fighting Brandon is going to be the thing that gives me more money.
There he is, Deiveson Figueiredo, once again the UFC flyweight champion of the world. So congratulations to him. Crazy fight. Well done.
And that
but I think it's only fair that I mean, look at him.
Look at tracksuit, man.
Looks like $1 million. Oh, yep. What a shocker.
There they are.
What a shocker. Look who's on the stage. Cejudo's hilarious, man. Super funny. Here they all are. Yep.
Oh, my
Can't let him have his moment. Yep. There we go. Now, good on them. All kidding aside, the move to fight ready was a tremendous move.
Hey, that was the difference. We talked about in the preview show. I really felt that was the difference maker. I mean, I picked Moreno, but I knew, I felt, I didn't know, but I felt we were just going to get a much better version of Biggie. And not much better, but, we saw it. It was, that was only his first camp there. Like, this is a new, an improved Figueiredo.
Yeah, much more patient, listened to his team, and as much as I hated the build to this fight and how it took away from the fighters, it was obviously the right move, and good on him. No one questioned the actual team and the move. Yeah. We sang the praises of Fight Ready and all the coaches over there. So,
and shout out
quadrilogy, here we come.
And shout out to those AirPods for not popping out, man. They're just hanging on for their dear life on those cauliflower deers. I don't know how he does it.
Especially the one on the right.
Yeah. I keep waiting for one to pop out. They stay in there. I'm surprised they didn't fight for them.
Yes. We are awaiting the brand new the still heavyweight champion of the world. Once again, the undisputed champion, because now he is, since the title has been unified. Francis Ngannou, after his wrestling clinic over the final 15 minutes of that fight. I still can't believe this is a thing, but there will be no Dana White, and Dana did not wrap the belt around Francis, and he's not showing up to the press conference. This is eerily familiar to UFC 220 because, again, Dana did not wrap the belt around the champion, even though there's a different scenario. Stipe is like, nope, give me the title. I'm putting it. Yeah. I'm letting my coach do it. But Dana did not show up to that press conference either. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. You didn't come to the presser. You're right.
So we'll see what happens. Did Dana White come out already? No. Dana White must have went home after the co-main event because he was gone. Is Dana mad like he was with Anderson Silva? I don't know.
No. Dana showed up at the presser. Dana showed up at the presser. Dana did an interview with me and Ariel. I filmed it.
Yeah.
He did that was the whole. I've never been more disgusted or whatever. That was Dana mad at the performance from Anderson Silva. He's not mad at the performance from Francis Ngannou. He's mad at something else, and that's for Dana to say. I think we all know what it is, but What did you think of Joe Rogan not asking about John Jones, not asking about Stipe Miocic, but asking about a boxing match with Tyson Fury? I thought I was like, okay.
It was kind of funny. And I will say this. I know, and I think you probably agree with me on this, Casey. I know oftentimes we come on these post-fight shows or whatever, and we kind of crap on the commentary, and we crap on Rogan specifically because sometimes he just doesn't give a shit and just kind of phones it in. I thought he was really good tonight. I really did. I thought he had a couple blunders for sure. Post-fight interviews weren't tremendous, but overall, from a commentary standpoint, I thought that they did a really good job tonight. I really did. Start to finish, overall, one of the best that they've done, the three of them together.
Yeah, they stayed focused tonight, and I think having just really exciting fights helped. When the main event kind of got a little slower at some points, I think DC and Rogan got a little goofy. They started talking about I forgot his name now. That Mr. Flippy guy did the wheel kick knockout of John Vellante. What's his name?
Chris Barnett.
They started talking about Chris Barnett for I felt like half the round. I was like, guys, there's a heavyweight title fight in front of you. But other than that, yeah, definitely for the most part, yeah, we were chatting with each other, and I was actually very impressed with DC and Rogan tonight, and Anik. Well, Anik's so consistent; he's always great. But yeah, it was just I definitely the enthusiasm of the crowd really carried over to the commentators, and they did do a great job tonight. Kept it entertaining and informative, and I learned. Yeah, it was good. Good job.
Yep, they did really well. I like when Rogan does a lot of the technique stuff. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
And DC's great with the wrestling talk and stuff against the fence, but Rogan's great when it comes to ground transitions and the jiu-jitsu stuff and what you need to do to defend certain moves or how to improve position on certain moves. Spot on. What's Cody Stamann put a lot of pressure on himself tonight. Yep, he certainly did. And Saeed was ready for it, man. That was some performance. I mean, nobody does that. Nobody does that to Cody Stamann. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, Sterling put him away, but not like that.
Not like that. That was, unfortunately, that was, that was exactly the fight that Cody Stamann did not need tonight. That was,
No.
yeah, that was kind of a worst case scenario for Stamann. But
well, I mean, he's still in Las Vegas. He's right there. They have 1 million Apex cards. I don't think he gets. I don't think he gets cut. I think they give him one more.
One more?
We'll see. I could be wrong.
I hope.
He's
a quality bantamweight, and I don't.
Dude, you do Cody Stamann versus Victor Henry, and there you go. We're now we're cooking with gasoline.
Yeah. But yeah,
Victor wins, gets a big fight.
Yeah. All right. Let me see what we got here.
Do you see Francis getting an improved deal from Dana? Yeah, well, Dana just
Something has to
not
happen.
wrapping the belt around his waist, and Dana not being here, I think, I think that says more than him actually sitting in that chair answering questions.
That is wild. I mean,
that's your heavyweight champion of the world, and you're no-showing a press conference to put over your event, your first pay-per-view of the year, by the way, which, by the way, UFC 220 was also the first pay-per-view event of the year, and he didn't do that press conference either. Was this like an every 4-year thing for him? Just once, it's like the Olympics. Once every 4 years, Dana just no-shows a presser.
That is just wild. I mean, it was a good card. The main event, it didn't. I mean, it wasn't the knockout that we were expecting from either side, but it was still exciting, something we haven't seen before. Sold out, super exciting. Honda Center, and I mean, we know Dana's a very emotional person, but this is kind of a little. Like I said, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked. Yeah.
It's all right. He'll go on with he'll go and do the usual interview spots, and he'll talk about it, and it'll sway in his favor. But we get to hear from Francis first, which will be nice. But if you saw, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw the salaries, but Francis made $600,000 tonight.
Minimum.
I made six. Zero made five.
Yeah, I hate the fact that there was even an interim belt for Gane, but the benefit of that, Gane did get a pay jump. I think to the 500 minimum 500 because what did Figueiredo get as the challenger?
150.
150. Jeez.
Moreno got 200.
Wow, Moreno got 200, man. And you know what's crazy? Like maybe pay-per-view sales are different, but Brandon Moreno sold more tickets tonight than Francis Ngannou. And
100%.
Yeah.
Michael Morales sold more tickets tonight than Francis Ngannou did.
Yeah,
you
know
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to read this tweet from when we had the A side. Andreas Hale was a guest on the A side many times because good thing about fighting in California is we get the disclosed payouts.
Yeah.
So here's the tweet that he wrote. The total combined payout for every fighter combined at UFC 270 was $1.8 million. Tyson Fury made $30 million in his third fight against Wilder. Wilder made $20 million in the third fight against Fury. So Fury and Wilder made 25 times more than all the UFC 270 fighters combined. 25x more than all the UFC 270 fighters combined. And then he ends it with, tell me that UFC fighter pay is not an issue. That's insane.
We're at a point where it's not even an argument anymore. We're not.
No, we know that.
It's not even a debate anymore. Now it's just like, what's next? What are the fighters going to do? We as media members, that's not our fight to fight. All we do is just like, hey, here's our opinions. Here are the numbers. Here are the facts. We just lay out our opinions. But after that, it's up to the fans. It's up to the fighters. The fans can, I don't know, boycott, protest. I don't know. The fighters can do what they need to do, but
even that won't matter because they already have these deals in place and they can just host cards at the Apex and it doesn't matter. Like, it's all good. It's up to the fighters, and they've had so many chances, so many opportunities. I just don't see a world where it happens, unfortunately. That's it. I mean, it sucks. Francis Ngannou is the heavyweight champion of the world. Should not be making $600,000 to headline a pay-per-view. It seems like a ton of money. It does. Like, you're like, wow, $600,000. How cool is that? Woohoo! But then you realize, and you combine, and why do you think all these boxers want to go fight? Like, all these UFC fighters want to go fight Jake freaking Paul.
It's not because they
They
love
want to go
boxing.
fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
love boxing. They don't
think-
love Jake Paul. They go, dude, like, they're doing
What's
what
that?
I'm doing.
Money.
Like, is this even? I can't even try and compare. Is this even comparable to anything else in any other sport? I'm like, I don't mean like.
Shout out to Andreas, who just tweeted, watching you guys because it's more entertaining than the press conference. I mean, there is no press conference right now. We're waiting for Francis Ngannou. Although Dana White just with a red face would be really entertaining right now. Love to know what's going on in that man's head right now. Francis Ngannou is going to come in looking like $10 million right now. He's going to wear a suit and sunglasses and have the gold belt, and he's just going to wax poetic. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. I really can't wait. Yeah. So long story short, Natty Mania, no. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhat, but probably not. What else we got? We do have a post-fight show coming up after, but yeah, keep these coming. Post-fight show is not going to be a long post-fight show. I can tell you that right now. Although we have a lot of unanswered questions.
Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about this. Also from Natty Mania. Oh, we lost
Natty Mania.
We lost our feed.
Oh, Captain Eric must be back in the room. Was Ngannou injured before the match? Just curious because he wasn't like usual Ngannou today. Let me pull up the actual quote from Ngannou's post-fight interview. Just give me one moment. I will pull it up. Let me just scroll down a tiny bit. Apparently there was an injury because you saw the knee sleeves. And I think we're close. We are close. There it is. In his interview with Joe Rogan, Francis Ngannou said, and I quote, "It's been a very tough training camp, very tough 10 months. A lot of shit happened. 3 weeks ago, I hurt my knee, tore my MCL, completely hurt my ACL, and other stuff." So yes, there was an injury, and maybe when he steps up, he'll elaborate a little bit more. But yeah, he wasn't moving as well as he did in the Stipe fight. I can tell you, I mean, that is for damn sure.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was very labored.
And somehow he still won the fight with solid grappling. You know, it's wild. It's wild.
I got to see how many. I have to go. I want to see how many strikes Francis Ngannou actually landed in that fight. I mean, Gane clearly landed more, but it's just a matter of. There it is.
I'm shocked.
All right, it wasn't as much as I thought.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Gane didn't just go for more, leg kicks, kind of teep kicks, kind of oblique kicks to the knee. I mean, I like he did the kind of Sakuraba thing where he wears braces on both knees, so you don't know which one is the bad one.
I mean, if you told me that these are the numbers we were going to see in this fight, I would not have believed you. So Ciryl Gane the outstriking Ciryl Gane is only 63-43, which, considering the way, like, if a fight went 5 rounds, we would have thought Gane would have landed like 180 to like 50 something. Significant strike 69%, total strike 79-71, takedowns. Francis Ngannou 80% clip, 4 for 5 on his takedowns. 3 submission attempts for Gane, 1 reversal for Ngannou. Ground control time 8 minutes and 29 seconds for the Predator.
You know what? I don't think it was asked during Gane's post presser, but like, I'm kind of curious to know how much training did Gane do defending takedowns for this camp in particular. Of course, you always learn takedown defense just as any MMA fighter needs to do, but specifically for this fight, where they thinking we don't need to spend too much time on takedown defense in this camp. It turned out maybe that was just like if Gane stuffs all those takedowns, then we have a new champ, But that's the fight.
Again,
that's the fight game.
The coaching aspect, and I don't mean the coaching drama. The coaching aspect of this fight was very fascinating to me. How is Fernand Lopez going to prepare his fighter to fight his former fighter that has evolved tremendously since he left there? Has become almost a completely different fighter. I always tell people to go back to that Stipe fight. Just watch it. Like, really watch it closely, and you'll see how much better Francis has gotten. Not just because of the sprawls, but the movement, the feints, all that stuff. He didn't really have any of those weapons tonight because apparently he was hurt. And then just seeing how Eric Nixick was going to prepare for Fernand and then prepare for Cyril with how good he's been. And just to know that wrestling was in their back pocket and nobody saw it coming. Just brilliant. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Not the most aesthetically pleasing fight to watch, but strategically, checkmate Eric Nixick.
And this is one of those fights where sorry to interrupt you, but this is one of those fights for Ngannou where it didn't matter how he won, as long as he got the W. That was the most important part tonight. It didn't matter how he won at all. Some fights, you got to win impressively, not tonight. Yeah, it helps to win impressively, whatever, but as long as you get that W for Francis, that's all that matters tonight. And one boring fight. People are like, "Oh, I don't care." I don't think anyone considers Francis a boring fighter now. Yeah, this is just a different fight. That's all.
You can make the argument he's a scarier fighter now.
Oh, absolutely.
Now the man can wrestle and you can't get up. You can't get up if he takes you down.
And that was wrestling on one bad leg too. So, and I don't think anyone, I don't think anyone's doubting his the authenticity of that injury. But a lot of people were talking about, I thought about this at least. How I was like, oh well, Lopez, he trained Francis, so he knows his tendencies. Well, it works both ways. Ngannou he knows how Lopez coaches now. He knows what they specialize in, what they maybe holes that they don't cover. So when he's talking to Eric Nixick and those coaches at Extreme Couture, they're like, they don't do this over there. Well, let's make sure we exploit this. So it goes both ways. It's not it's just I know a lot about this fighter. He also knows a lot about that coach. What is next for Cyril Gane?
It's a good question.
Because this is one of those fights I think too, and good for Ngannou, but we did not we did not see the best version of Cyril Gane. Next fight. This is one of those fights he definitely will get better from. That's still the exciting part about Cyril, I think.
Yeah, Curtis Blades would be a good choice.
Another wrestler?
I mean, but that's probably a good thing.
No. That's fine. Yeah, it makes sense.
So we'll see.
I'm missing somebody.
So we'll see what's happening. But we'll see. Yeah, I think Blades seems like a perfect. You do the Stipe fight. Do Stipe versus Cyril Gane. That would be good. We always forget about the Steepster. Will Francis be Zuffa Boxing's first signing?
Imagine if Francis comes out wearing a Zuffa Boxing shirt.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I want one of those Zuffa Boxing shirts so bad. I don't have any UFC swag in my my wardrobe, but a Zuffa Boxing t-shirt would be pretty awesome.
That would be a gangster move right there. If he comes out with the Zuffa Boxing t-shirt on, that would be awesome. I hope he does.
Yeah. So, a lot of people are like, Gane Stipe.
Yeah, I think that's a fine fight. I have to think about it some more. By the way, AK and I are going to be doing our On to the Next One show live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. So, yeah, get ready for that. Just wake up early, watch the show, get your matchmaking picks in, and then take a nap.
We're gonna have a lot of time. We're gonna have a lot of time to talk about this in the next few months, but might as well start.
John Jones smokes Ngannou and Gane. Agree or disagree?
That's it. To me, that regardless of tonight's outcome, even before this, that's a giant disagree. John Jones hasn't smoked anyone in a while. Let's be honest. He's won fights. Gus, but do we really think that's the same Gus that was?
No.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not the same Gus that they fought the first time, or the same Gus that fought DC. I know John Jones is the GOAT. He's great and everything, but he's not that leagues above the other fighters that he was, once before. I think John Jones is still the best because no one's really, raised no one's got a W over him yet. But the idea of him smoking even the top light heavyweights, I think that reality's gone, and him smoking the top heavyweights, he can win, but it's a tough road. John Jones is gonna be out for 2 years, and we know this isn't like a Calvin Kattar thing or even a Ngannou thing where like he's been in the gym getting better and better. That's not happening. John Jones has kind of been, in some trouble. He's not in Albuquerque anymore. He's got a whole new set of coaches. Is he even officially in? I don't know. Is he even training at Fight Ready? Is he training right now? No one. He's on Twitter a lot.
He's in and out of there. He'll do some stuff there for sure. And apparently he's been at home there and fit in with the community pretty well. John Jones is talking about something, and Brandon Gibson actually responded to the tweet. So I don't think he's training like at Jackson Wink with those guys, but like him working with Brandon Gibson, I don't know this for a fact, but like if he's working with Brandon, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, but I'm going to say disagree to this question. Of course, I want to see John Jones fight one of these gentlemen. I want to see John Jones fight. I want to see John Jones fight anyone. I don't care. I want to see John Jones. I don't care. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. It's going to be more than 2 years. It's going to be 2.5 years by the time we see him come back.
I would favor John Jones, not heavily, but I would favor John Jones to beat Cyril Gane right now. But right now, like right this second, a year and a half from now, might be a totally different discussion because Cyril Gane's only going to get better.
Yeah,
and Ngannou I'd favor over Jones, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe heavyweight's the best. And by the way, here's another thing just to play devil's advocate. This is the first time. This will be the first time in what? God, 8 years that John Jones would be chasing somebody else. It's a long time, man. You're the hunt. We've talked about how hard it is to be the champion and have to pitch a shutout and try to pitch a perfect game every single time. It's different when you're considered the greatest of all time as well. Like Amanda Nunes has dealt with that as well, and she dealt with it with the Juliana Pena fight. It is so hard to be at your best when everybody else is bringing their complete A games every single time. Like Dominic Reyes, that was the best Dominic Reyes performance you'll probably ever see in your life. And that's what John Jones had to face every single time. Now he's facing the champion. He's coming in as the challenger. It's a different feeling, man. It's a different feeling. So different mindsets, different things. John Jones is technical, but Cyril's technical and has strength, and Ngannou is stronger than John in many ways. Who knows? John is a monster right now. Who knows?
But
John's like 260. I talked to Eddie Chad. This is what, 2 months ago. He's like, John Jones like 265 pounds right now. He's very close to that. He's like 256, 250. He's mass. He's humongous.
But to me, that's a very bad thing. That's not a good thing to be that heavy. That means you're going to be slow and tired.
Maybe.
That's when John Jones had a long break and he came back and bulked up and cut that weight and fought OSP, probably one of his worst victory performances he's had.
He also cut a lot of weight. I mean, he cut a lot of weight for that fight. Way more than he normally would. And he's not going to have to cut anything for this fight. Maybe 5 pounds.
It's going to be heavy, man. That weight is going to be heavy on him. And John Jones isn't this young. He's not this kid anymore. He's the, well, I mean, you know what?
But he comes from a freak genetic athletic family though. Like their whole family is a bunch of freak athletes. All of them. All of them. Chandler Jones.
You gotta be.
His NFL brother is playing the best football of his career all these years later, right now. We'll see.
Different game. Like the cardio is totally different in football than in MMA. But I get what you're saying. Hey, it's gonna be exciting when John Jones comes back. It's gonna be exciting.
John's got to take a lot away from tonight's fight.
I don't know how much you can take away, actually. I mean, there's definitely. I think Francis is just a much more dangerous fighter. I think it's like, oh crap, he's getting better, and he did that on one leg, pretty much. So,
I can't disagree with that. We're still waiting for Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
maybe
we'll see
what Francis has to say. Let's see what Francis has to say about the situation. Remember, at the press conference, he said he was over the John Jones fight, didn't want it. Perhaps, maybe his mind will change.
Yeah, didn't want it, I'm not here to talk about that. Like he didn't say, I'm not gonna fight John Jones. He needs to earn. He needs to earn his way to the title. He didn't say anything like that, right? It was just he was kind of just dismissive of the question. Just kind of
No, he basically said like, we tried to make this fight a couple of years ago. It didn't happen. I'm over it. Moving on.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're moving on to. That's like.
Yeah, I took it more of a dismissive of the question. Like I have this very athletic, very good Frenchman across the down on the dais for me that I have to worry about.
Gone is the future. Agree or disagree? I mean, it's hard to disagree with that. This is good for him. I think at the end of the day, tonight is going to be a good thing for him. He needed this.
I think the big thing is we saw. When did Ngannou leave? Did Ngannou left? Yeah, he left Fernando Lopez after losing to Miocic, correct? Because his next fight was Derek Lewis, and that was with John Wood in Vegas. And then after that loss, he went to I think Extreme Couture. So kind of curious. Let's see what Ciryl does. Like, do they have the wrestlers there? Do they have the wrestling coaches there at that camp in Paris for Gane to kind of evolve his game? Or does Gane think he needs to evolve a game? He's just, you know what, let's just have a bad night. Maybe if I didn't go for that stupid heel hook, I would be the champion tonight. Who knows? It's a lot of questions that we'll find out soon.
Dude, this guy has been a professional MMA fighter for 3 years. That's insane. Interim champion, headlining a second consecutive fight, fighting for an undisputed UFC title 3 years into his pro career is wild.
Actually, I didn't realize this. How similar to this was when Ngannou lost to Stipe the first time. I feel like we're kind of the same storyline. Ngannou was only a pro for like maybe 3 or 4 years too at that point, and then he got out wrestled, and then
the UFC was promoting the you could argue the UFC was promoting the challenger more than the champion.
Yep. It's like it's kind of weird. I think and Gane could be We'll see.
Yes, I think Gane is the future though. Anything else? Still waiting on Francis, so get those questions in. I don't know how many we're going to get to in the post-fight show, so now's the time.
Let me see this question.
I'll wait till these numbers come back. There we go. Nat William, what do you think about the more varied striking from both Ngannou and Figueiredo in their winning title bouts? Both known as headhunters, but came out with games focused on hitting the body and the legs. I'll let you wax poetically on Figueiredo, but I told you this in the preview show. People say that Ngannou is just this guy who's like, I'm just gonna go like this, and if I hit you, you fall down. Not true. Ngannou, maybe the Jairzinho fight because he's just chasing a man down and wanted to hurt somebody. He was all pissed off.
It was only 30 seconds too.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, go watch the Stipe fight over again and just watch the improved footwork. Watch the feints. Watch him. He was up there. Dude was up there throwing high kicks at Stipe, throwing spinning stuff. Dude was all over the place. The varied striking of Ngannou has been there for a little while. It's just getting even more varied. Figueiredo, the leg kicks are nasty, man. Those things are added up. They're starting to take its toll on Moreno, and just the patience overall, because I was super impressed with Figgy because you could see it in his eyes. Anytime he hit Moreno, he wanted to pounce, and he could listen to his corners, and his corners are telling him, chill, relax, stay patient. And he listened. So what did you think of Figueiredo and the improvements he made from striking? Because we all put our money on the wrestling. They focused wrestling. But Figueiredo striking, especially with the kicks to the leg and the body, were much better tonight.
Yeah, that's just good coaches. Learn from the first two fights and made adjustments. Both fighters made adjustments. Figgy. Oh,
I'm so excited right now. Good grief, I'm excited.
There we go. And still.
Hey, Francis, how are you, buddy? I was telling everybody I knew for sure you were going to grapple this, and you might even submit him. That was a fait accompli in my mind. Did you have that in your mind too, figuring it was going to be a grappling match?
No, I didn't know for sure that it's going to be a grappling match, but I have that as an option that it could be a grappling match. Basically, because I wasn't very comfortable on my stand, I wasn't very stable, so I was very concerned and couldn't move properly, and against a guy who moved as well as Cyril, so he was pretty tough for me, the stand-up part, but he kind of like gave me the opportunity, came to me at first with those takedown, and I know that that's what he's been working on, and my team recommend me to like keep doing that, work on the grapple wrestling and grappling, because we were pretty confident about our skills.
Francis, when you're going into a fight of this magnitude, you're fighting another undefeated champion. Why would you go through with the fight if your leg was bad, right? I mean, how much consideration did you give to pulling out, given the fact that there's a lot of significance, and if you lose this fight, people are going to say, oh, yeah, it's just an excuse, him talking about his leg. So, wouldn't it have been in your best interest to say, hey, I'm not healthy, and come back and fight a different time?
Well, people will always say something, and leading up to this fight, I get injured. You don't know what's happened. I could have withdrawn to this fight, but then get in another fight, get even worse. We are doing a sport that is very dangerous. You can hurt yourself all the time. So if you feel like there is a chance that you can do it, I think you have to do it. And I believe in myself. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, so I was sure. I mean, that must be a dumb decision, but we didn't want to withdraw from this fight. I was very confident about my skills to win this fight.
I noticed Mick Maynard put the belt on you and not Dana. Was that at your request? You didn't want Dana to do that, or why did that happen?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
So you did not have anything that you
No,
didn't say. I don't want
not
Dana.
have anything to do about that.
Okay.
I think that was their decision. I'm about to ask about that too.
Okay. And I guess that leaves, Dana doesn't come to the press conference. It makes the inference that it's something to do with you, right? So does
He
it make
didn't
you
come
want
to the press conference?
He wasn't here. No, he wasn't.
Okay. Why? I didn't know that too.
Does it make you wonder what your future is in the company, given that?
Well, it's been a long time that I've been wondering about my future in the company. So nothing has changed. I'm still in the same position.
One other question. What is the biggest issue from your standpoint? Is it simply money, or is it the way you're treated?
No, it's not simply money. I mean, obviously, money is a part of it, but it's also the term of the contract that I don't agree with it. I don't feel like it's fair. I don't feel like I'm free. I'm a free man. I don't feel like yeah, I don't feel like I've been treated good, and it's unfortunate that I have to be in this position to be able to do that, to say that. But I think it's something that everybody should at least have a right to claim for what's best for him, you know, because at the end of the day, we put a lot of work in this job. We give. Take a lot in our body to make it happen. So at least we can have a fair and square deal.
Francis, will you go to the UFC, or are you going to just wait for them to come to you?
Where I've been going to the UFC a lot, so I kind of like exhaust all my options.
If I understand right, if you don't fight until December this year, your contract will be over and you'll be a free agent next year in January.
I think so.
So are you comfortable with the decision that you might just not fight for a year now?
In the past 3 years, I have fought 3 times. So what did that mean? Once a year. So it wouldn't be something strange.
But is that not some frustrating to you, you know, because you're an athlete who's...
I'm not frustrated about anything, my friend. I'm in peace with myself and my decisions.
So do you believe it's boxing next, no matter what, even if the UFC come to you with a contract?
I don't believe in anything. I don't know yet.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Francis, right over here.
Okay.
To your right.
To my right.
Hi.
Good.
Congratulations on the victory. I do want to ask, were there any words finally exchanged with Fernand and everything after the fact in the cage or after?
No, with Fernand, with Cyril.
And what did you say to him? Obviously, you've been in his shoes before to experience that first loss too.
Yeah, I've been there, but I know that he has a skill. I know that he's a big guy, good guy. He's a good fighter. That just meant to be between crossfire. You know, they're trying to use him they're just trying to use him, you know, but he's a good guy, and I have nothing against him.
I think people wonder, you know, Francis, you know, with the power, how is Francis going to feel if the fight goes later? How is Francis going to feel if he can't knock him out? Can you tell us just how did you feel? Those later rounds, you have to do some stuff that we haven't seen you do before. Just what was going through your mind in those later rounds?
Well, actually, for the first 2 rounds, I was still, I couldn't find my spot, couldn't move properly, and was little concerned. Basically, by the end of the second round, and then something came to my mind. I remember all the support that I'd been receiving from my country, and I'm like, I'm not letting them down, you know, and. Then my coaches that were there, like motivating me, telling me like it's good, this, that, you know. Then we went to the third round, and then get this takedown. And at the end of the third round, I kind of like see him desperate. You know, at that moment, I know that he's gonna lose this fight. Like he's losing the fight. I could tell that he wasn't himself anymore.
I don't have to tell you this. We don't often see you fight for this long at any time. How long has your wrestling been a part of your game?
Neither do I. I haven't seen me fight for so long. Well, the wrestling be part of my game, I think, since the beginning. You know, I've been working on. Maybe he wasn't good enough, but I never had a chance to like prove it. And in the past three years, you know, I've been at Extreme Couture, been working on wrestling. You know, it's a elite wrestling team, and I have the opportunity to have great partner and great coaches there who are very good at wrestling. And I show up to every class, you know, wrestle with everybody.
My final question, obviously there's going to be a lot of talk. What can, you know, one promotion offer? What can UFC offer and everything? At the end of the day, can I ask you simply, do you feel like you still want to be a UFC fighter?
Well, it's been a long time and a lot of things been going on. So at this point, I think my feeling doesn't matter. You know, I've been feel a lot of things in the past year. I've been expressed my willingness to stay in the UFC, to have a contract, just to be respected. And the only reason why we are here, I think, is because at some point I wasn't respected. You know, he could have taken way less to get this deal done. but he went to like a power position and get everybody frustrated, get me frustrated, get me lost the feeling, the desire of doing things. I get in this sport. I wasn't I didn't grow up dreaming about this sport. I just get into it because it was fun and all those stuff. Then you get to the point that you kind of like find another side of the sport which is not funny, which is frustrating. It's kind of like mess with your mind. So but I'm pretty good trying to like stay focused, just think about the sport and nothing around it, and hope that things gonna go well.
Congratulations.
Thank
Francis,
you.
right here in front of you, quick one. How hurt were your knees? What exactly happened?
Was pretty bad. I had a grade 3 MCL. I have a damaged ACL and a damaged MPFR, and that was 25 days ago.
One last one. Outside of your wrestling, and I think in one of the later rounds, you actually swept him. You were on the bottom and you swept him and got top position. So
Actually, that leg was hurting because I was trying to hold his leg with my right leg, and that was the leg that was hurting. But still managed, trying to use body position and to get there.
You need surgery at all?
I think so.
Francis, over here to your left. How you doing, mate? When you're fighting a fighter like Cyril Gane, does winning a decision mean a little bit more than simply just knocking him out?
Well, if I would have chose, it would have been a knockout, man. This 5 round, it wasn't my call.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, it was a good thing because I finally had a chance to prove that I can do it. Everyone counts me out when it goes to 5 rounds. I'm like, Siri by decision. If Francis wins, it's by knockout. But you were wrong.
Have you had a chance to talk to your mother yet? I'm just wondering how proud she is.
I couldn't talk to her because they were just celebrating, shouting, yelling. Couldn't hear anything, and the signal was very bad here. I was in medical and stuff, but I called.
Awesome! Congratulations again.
Thank you,
Francis. How hurt were your knees when you were fighting? Was there any point during the fight where you felt like you may not be able to continue with the knees?
No, that I might not be able to continue, but I was like very stable, like trying to like hold position, don't move too much. I didn't want to sleep or something. Just the idea of like sleeping or getting kicked on that knee was so scary. Basically, like I saw the doctor on Tuesday to clear me, and he wasn't very optimistic about it, but I still decided to move on.
What kind of advice did the doctor and your team give you leading up to it regarding the injury?
Well, my team was by my side, regardless whatever I decided to do. That's what they said. But the doctor said he wouldn't recommend me that because I can have a irreversible damage. That was he said. Yes, irreversible, something like that. If I get kicked on that knee, so that's why like I couldn't switch my stand.
How does your knee feel now after the fight?
Actually, I don't care about how it feels. I know what I was putting myself into, and if I needed to leave that leg in that octagon and get out with the win, I would have done it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Francis, ici. Félicitations.
Merci.
Juste un mot sur l'ambiance, parce que le précédent combat, il y avait personne quand vous l'aviez gagné, ou pas grand monde à l'Apex. Là, vous aviez des milliers de personnes. À quel point c'est plus agréable? C'est une question un peu idiote. Et une autre question, vous avez mentionné le Cameroun, il y a la CAN en ce moment. Est-ce que vous croyez que votre succès ce soir peut donner des idées à votre pays dans cette compétition?
Déjà pour le spectacle, oui, c'est vrai que ça fait 2 ans que j'ai pas combattu avec les spectateurs et le premier événement sans spectateurs, c'était un peu effrayant parce que tu sais pas c'est quoi l'atmosphère, comment tu vas te sentir, comment ça peut t'impacter psychologiquement. Et finalement, on s'habitue. Et après le premier spectacle, le premier événement avec les spectateurs, on a tout autant peur parce qu'on ne sait pas comment on va réagir avec la foule, si ça va nous distraire ou pas. Mais dans l'ensemble, ça s'est bien passé, surtout à la fin avec la victoire. C'est aussi beau de voir un public et de célébrer avec. Maintenant, pour ce qui concerne le Cameroun, la Coupe d'Afrique, oui, je pense que c'est une motivation. Ils ont été une motivation pour moi, pour ma victoire, et je pense que d'un autre côté, je serai ça peut également contribuer à une motivation pour notre équipe qui déjà, à mon avis, n'a pas besoin de cette motivation parce que je pense qu'ils ont les choses sous contrôle et surtout avec un nouveau président de la fédération qui est Samuel Eto'o-Fils et qui, voilà, pour son arrivée, tout le monde est un peu galvanisé et très optimiste pour remporter cette Coupe d'Afrique des Nations.
Francis, encore un petit mot en français. Félicitations encore pour ce combat.
Merci.
Est-ce qu'à un moment donné, vous vous êtes retrouvé un petit peu dos au mur après les 2 premiers rounds qui n'étaient pas forcément en votre faveur et vous avez surpris beaucoup de monde avec votre sol et votre lutte qui a construit votre victoire. Ça a surpris beaucoup de monde. Est-ce que vous en avez conscience, ça?
Non, le but était juste de gagner et de faire tout pour gagner, surtout que les 2 premiers rounds, je me suis un peu fié à ma boxe et je n'étais pas très stable, je n'étais pas très confortable et surtout face à un adversaire comme Cyril qui est très agile, très mobile et très bon en pied-point, c'était très difficile pour moi de gérer. Mais bon, on a donc mon équipe a décidé qu'on adopte une autre option puisque c'était une option qu'on avait en beau choix.
Vous aviez annoncé que vous alliez le mettre KO au 2e round.
Ouais.
Finalement, vous gagnez la décision au 5e. La victoire est belle ou il y a une petite pointe de déception de ne pas l'avoir mis KO?
La victoire, c'est la victoire parce que bon, c'est vrai que je l'ai pas mis KO, mais en même temps, j'ai un peu déçu des gens qui espéraient que j'allais perdre si j'allais à la décision. Je les ai prouvé le contraire.
Est-ce qu'il y a une forme de revanche justement parce que bon, il y a votre histoire de contrat avec l'UFC. Chez les bookmakers, vous n'étiez pas forcément le favori et finalement, c'est quand même vous qui restez le boss. Est-ce que c'est une forme de revanche ce soir?
Je vais dire que c'est un, comment on dit statement en anglais, en français. Oui, c'est un message au fait que j'ai renvoyé. J'étais le champion, je suis le champion et je reste le champion. Indépendamment de tout ce qu'on raconte, au final, le boss, c'est moi et je l'ai prouvé ce soir.
Et une dernière question, on a parlé avec Cyril il y a quelques instants. Il rêverait d'une revenge, d'un nouveau combat, mais cette fois à Paris. Est-ce que vous seriez prêt? Est-ce que c'est quelque chose aussi qui vous plairait d'avoir une revanche, mais cette fois en France, avec un public qui attend ça aussi? Mais est-ce que vous l'attendriez?
Ça, il y a beaucoup d'improbabilités dans ça. Déjà, il faut savoir quelle est ma situation ici à l'UFC pour commencer. Et ensuite, quelle est la situation des choses avec le Covid parce que l'UFC, avec le Covid, apparemment, les choses ne sont pas très faciles. Raison pour laquelle les événements de l'UFC et voire même d'autres sports sont un peu concentrés dans certains États qui sont les rares États qui sont accessibles.
Mais une revanche contre Cyril Gane à Paris, vous signez ou pas?
Oui, bien sûr. Il est inévitable que, il est clair que si je reste là, à un moment donné, je vais rencontrer Cyril vu son talent. Je sais qu'il va rester au top de la catégorie et à un certain moment, il aura sa revanche.
Merci beaucoup.
Francis, you mentioned the support that you receive from your country, but at the same time, it seems like Fernand and France sort of painted this narrative of you being ungrateful to an entire nation of France. That narrative has sort of played in. How happy are you to put this all behind you because it seems so far from the truth?
Yeah, man, that's crazy. It's, as you say, it's the narrative, and you can't control the narrative. I'm not a media. I'm just a guy, who who is out there doing his thing, and I feel very relieved now. But even though the narrative were wrong, they kind of like that belong to the past, because those people who knows me know that I'm not ungrateful. And my friends, my family in France, they are still there. They know me, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I had in France. But I'm still a Cameroonian. As long as I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have in the US, every step along the way, you have stuff, but you move on. That doesn't mean you that doesn't take away anything from from the gratefulness that you have for something. I have to leave my country that I was born there after 27 years. That doesn't mean I'm ungrateful for my country. I love my country, but I have to move on with my life. That's how it is. I have to live. We all have to leave our parents' house. That doesn't mean we don't love them. We love them, but that's the process of life. We have to move on. That's just how it is. It's not being ungrateful. And it's even when you move, when you leave sometime, that you really realize the love that you have there. You appreciate it even better. But you have to do that. You can go back, because that's how it is. That's just life. And I think people just wanted to manipulate this, use this, get in my mind, or like trying to tear my reputation or something. But at the end of the day, man, I make it all the way here, and I think I have some sort of angel guardian who will still be there and protect me.
Francis, over here to your far right, Colin Crandall, MMA Power Hour. Normally, when you win the decision, you're not having to wait for the judges. There's no question about that you won. Were you nervous when you didn't?
No, I
you,
don't.
you were very confident you would win.
Yeah.
Okay. What fight would be more exciting to you if the money was right? An MMA fight with John Jones or a boxing match with Tyson Fury?
If the contract was right.
If the contract was
just the
right in
money.
both of those situations, which is more exciting for you?
I don't know, man. I was so pumped up for the John Jones fight the last time, and since that was a promise before the fight that the winner between Stipe and I gonna fight John Jones, but since I won that fight, I never heard about it. So at this point, I don't really know what's possible. I don't know what is off the table. So kind of like lay down and see.
Makes sense. Last question for me. Would you feel that John Jones perhaps would be the second best fighter in the heavyweight division in the UFC, or is it Cyril Gane?
I don't know the position on John Jones right now.
But is their skill? If I could ask about their skill, who is the better, maybe, do you think?
I think skill-wise, John Jones is by far the best. I think he's really good. And yeah.
And Cyril maybe number 3 or something, right?
Skill-wise, MMA-wise, striking-wise, because overall-wise.
Overall, what do you think in the heavyweights? You, Jones, Cyril, maybe?
Well, you put in Stipe.
Oh, Stipe, is Stipe third above Cyril?
Okay, if I have to put...
If you have to put in the ratings.
If I have to put... Skill-wise?
Skill-wise.
I'm not for the pound-for-pound guy, so don't ask me. I don't know.
Heavyweight. Can you put heavyweight skill-wise? Top 4.
I don't know. Don't ask me that question.
No problem. Thank you very much. Congratulations, my friend.
Francis,
you're welcome.
Francis, last one right here. To your left.
Right
in front.
Okay.
I'm curious, how proud do you leave here tonight of yourself? I mean, you've probably had more spectacular victories in terms of the knockouts, but you bet on yourself with the contract stuff. You came in injured. You lost the first 2 rounds and came back to win. Is this like one of the proudest moments in terms of you getting this victory tonight?
Regardless of what happened tonight, I was proud of myself, my friend. I came from a long way, and I make my way here, which is something that I'm very proud about that. And as I said before, like, doesn't matter how this fight play out, I will still be proud of myself, because I know that I never give up. I never step back. I always give everything that I get, and it could have end up different way. That would have taken anything from what I have done from my accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go, guys.
All right. The heavyweight champion of the world, Francis. I mean, look at that suit. Just crushing it. Pay that man his money. Great win. I know when you think Francis Ngannou's fighting, you're going to see a vicious knockout, but we mix all the martial arts together, and Francis mixed them up tonight.
I think we saw something that, well, we did. We saw something we've never seen before. We've seen Francis knock out guys, but we saw something extra unique tonight. We saw an evolution.
The first UFC event I ever covered, Francis Ngannou won with a Kimura that he learned like 10 minutes before he went out to the octagon in Albany, New York, against Anthony Hamilton. Kimura. Unbelievable. All right. You think we're done talking about this card?
Oh, no.
We haven't even started yet. Post-fight show. Going down on the other end. We'll see you on the other side. I believe it's going to be 4 of us. I'm not really sure. We'll see. So we'll see on the other side. We will talk these storylines. We'll talk Dana White, what his silence means, what his no-show means, Francis, Davis and Figueiredo, and much more. So we'll see you on the other side. Thank you for watching the first part of our doubleheader here on MMAfighting.com. UFC 270 in the books. We'll see you on the other side. We'll talk some more about it.